This is a recipe that I really hope one of my friends doesn't watch. They're always telling me how good dessert pizzas are, and I'm always arguing with them until I tried this one, and now I'm hooked. And if I'm completely honest, when I was arguing with them about dessert pizzas, I hadn't tried one. I was just morally against it, but that's all out the window today because I love them. This is my hazelnut spread and strawberry pizza. This is how we do it. Now we're gonna make a quick pizza dough. I've made this one before, I made this one last season. It's a really good one, really reliable, really easy. The first thing you need to do is 150 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of bread flour. Then lukewarm water out of the tap, 200 mils, and 3 grams of yeast. Whisk that yeast up just to start activating it and rehydrating it. Little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, 10 mils. I can recite this recipe off by heart, and I reckon some of you guys who watched me make 3 or 4 pizzas last season might be able to do the same. Little pinch of salt into our flour. Now this is the one that I tell everyone is not a kneady dough. It's because it takes very little kneading to make your pizza dough, and it comes up a real treat. So just using a fork, mix everything together, and you want to bring it together until it forms just a ball, or starts to form a ball of dough, a little bit like that. Take it off the fork. Now you're going with your hands for like 30 seconds and just bring it all together. It really is the simplest dough. If you've ever seen me make focaccia, I use the same dough for focaccia. I just double the amount, right? And I just bring it together just till it's a nice ball. And that's it. That's it, done. Now, tea towel over the top, chuck it to one side, and you let that brew for half an hour, just till it doubles in size. And then you split that dough into 2 pieces, roll them into balls on a tray with some flour, wrap it in cling wrap, and then you can choose to leave it on the bench for another 2 to 3 hours till it doubles or triples in size, or chuck it into your fridge for 12 to 24 hours, and then the dough will be absolutely perfect and approved nice and slowly. You get nice crispy base, nice chewy dough. Luckily for you guys, and for my belly, I've prepared one earlier. So this is how your dough looks after 12 hours in the fridge. Just nice and soft and fluffy. Now it's time to roll our dough out. Now, if you've ever seen me make pizza before, you'll know I'm against rolling pins. What a rolling pin will do, if you roll your pizza dough out with a rolling pin, is it'll take all the air out. And you know when you get a nice bubbly crust of pizza with a few little bubbles through the middle of the dough, that's the best bit. If you roll it with a rolling pin, you're gonna lose all the air that you've worked so hard to get in the dough by letting it prove slowly. So what we're gonna do is just use our hands to knock it out. And all we do is just some of our semolina to stop it sticking, or you could use plain flour on the top and the bottom. And then we just start pressing it out, leaving a little border, which you can work out is gonna become our crust. And then I just start working it between my hands. And the technique I'm doing here is turning it and flopping it. So turn it 180, turn it, and there you have it. With like 6 turns, this is a no knead, no rolling pin dough that's ready to go. Look at that. I mean, you can do the fun things and start throwing it, but you don't need to. It's just that simple. And you can see here, nice outside, we get nice puffy crust, and then a nice flat center, you get a nice crispy base, which is, for me, the most important thing with the pizza. Now, in the oven here, I've been heating up my pizza tray. I've also got the oven on real hot. So we're going into an oven that is at 250 degrees with the grill on. And that's gonna cook our pizza as fast as possible. Now to transfer our dough into our tray, you just roll it over onto your hand and then flop it back over, and then just spread it back out. Now, dessert pizza, obviously we've got lots of sweet toppings, there's lots of sugar in those toppings, so if we put them into the oven straight away, they're gonna burn. So what I'm actually gonna do is just spread the center of the pizza with a bit of melted butter. And what this is gonna do is allow the crust on the outside to puff up and rise, but keep the center nice and flat. And we'll cook this till it goes a little bit golden on the crust. And then what we'll do is we'll add our hazelnut spread and our strawberries, and then just cook it for about 2 minutes till it's done. There's no cheese to melt on this pizza, there's no meat to cook. It's nice and quick. But there you go, so you've got a nice layer of butter in the center, and you've got that crust ready to puff up. So this will go into our oven, 250 degrees, as I mentioned, with the grill on and the fan on. And I reckon this is gonna take about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll let that do its thing, and I'll show you how to finish the pizza off with that spread and those beautiful strawberries. All right, so our pizza has been cooking for about 3 minutes. And you can see now that butter has melted in there. It's gone nice and golden brown, crunchy on the crust, which is exactly what we want. Now it's time to spread it with our hazelnut spread. So this is sort of up to how much you like chocolate, but I'm gonna go a couple of nice big spoons of hazelnut spread, and then just spread it all around the pizza. Now you're gonna let it warm up a little bit and it'll start spreading really easy. And just like when spreading tomato sauce on a pizza, you wanna keep the crust nice and clean so you got something to grab onto. It's looking good, and you can smell as soon as that spread starts heating up, like when you put it on a bit of toast, you just get that waft of chocolate hazelnut goodness. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Getting all glossy and smooth. Now, we're gonna top that off with our beautiful strawberries. Now that'll go back into the oven for about 2 minutes, just until the strawberries start to soften a little bit and warm through, and that hazelnut spread just melts and spreads around the pizza. That is looking spot on. So you can see here, we've got that nice golden crust. Our hazelnut spread has melted and started to caramelize, and those strawberries have just softened, they've paled slightly. I've got some icing sugar here. We're gonna sprinkle that over the top. And here's a good tip for you with putting icing sugar onto anything at home. Get a little tea strainer, and it will just fall perfectly through your tea strainer. There you go, a little snow of sugar. To finish it off, a nice big spoon of vanilla ice cream in the middle. So a nice big spoon. I want a big bowl. And that's gonna melt all throughout the pizza. There you have it there. There you go. My friends are gonna tell me I'm crazy, but you guys will be crazy at home not to try this. That is my hazelnut spread and strawberry pizza with some vanilla ice cream on top.